Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald, Second Swing Golf, back here in the tour van at the Minnetonka store for another head-to-head club comparison. We're talking about drivers today. We've got, I think, the best value driver of 2024 in the Cobra DARKSPEED X versus its predecessor, the Cobra Aerojet. So I've got Jake Montgomery with me, the fitting manager at the Minneapolis store, to do some testing. Jake, Cobra drivers, again, they don't get necessarily the notoriety that maybe TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, some of these other brands that have a lot more dollars invested in the marketing, so to speak.
Yep.
But everything that we've heard from fitters is that the Cobra stuff still performs just like anything out there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've even played a Cobra driver in the past. I had the LTD X for a season. I absolutely love the thing. Yes, I would definitely say that less people come in asking to try maybe a Cobra driver than other manufacturers out there, which I wish would change, because the DARKSPEED's been a fantastic driver this past year. And I think it's going to be a really, really good driver, even kind of maintaining going forward. So I have the older version here, the Aerojet. This was the first one that kind of introduced that power bridge technology, which is kind of like a floating weight in there. Helps increase ball speed, reduce spin. In the DARKSPEED, they kind of improved it. They moved it a little bit more forward, a little bit lower on the face to help increase launch, a little bit more decrease spin. They also have the L-cup face on both of these here. On the new hot face on the DARKSPEED, I believe it's 10% bigger in the sweet spot there, so you're seeing a little bit more forgiveness. I'm excited to do kind of a head-to-head here, because I definitely saw a pretty large jump between the Aerojet to that DARKSPEED.
Did you? Yeah, because there is also a little bit more AI incorporated too on the club face of the DARKSPEED. Just kind of that, that seems like that's kind of the buzzword of golf manufacturing nowadays, is how can we get AI to help design golf clubs. But Cobra did with just the club face structure here a little bit with the DARKSPEED, so curious to get feedback on that. But otherwise, we've got Aerojet, and talk about the shaft too quickly that we're going to use for both, and then we'll get into some testing.
So this is the Hazardous Blue RDX. This is a bit higher launching, higher spinning shaft in an extra stiff 60-gram profile. This is a little more similar to the kind of TR Red that I usually play. I just need more help getting height on the ball, so this is going to help me do that.
Perfect. Well, I think we're ready to go here.
Okay, just a little push.
Good first swing there. Yeah, I mean, clearly that was hit well. Some good distance on it. Face just a little bit open.
Yep, 100%.
And that's, I know we've talked about your tendency as a draw player is most of the time the club face will be a little open. It just does depend on how the ball comes back.
100%.
Towards the center or not, and really that's about as far right as you're going to go.
Yeah, I mean that there, my face matched my path exactly. That ball had zero curvature, just moved dead straight just to the right.
Yep. So that's a good way to hit the ball far, is to have your path and your face angle being the same thing.
Yeah, ideally they would just be 0-0.
Right.
That should be a little more down the line.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Straighten that one out.
Yeah.
What's talk to me about the look. It's a very different look than the DARKSPEED.
Absolutely.
You got the glossy. It's also gray. And then also a little bit about the feel after a couple swings.
Yes, I mean, definitely kind of noticed the glossier carbon fiber top there. I'm definitely more of a fan of that kind of matte look. To me, it's just a little less distracting. And then I've always found Cobra drivers to feel pretty firm. A lot of people like that because it kind of gives them more feedback where you're hitting it on the face. Like I could tell that one there felt kind of high on the face. It makes sense. It launched a little higher with super low spin. I think that definitely tracks with kind of where I made contact there.
Right. Yeah. That's and there's definitely a different feel with this material on the Cobra versus like say TaylorMade.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a different feel with the carbon, the carbon face of TaylorMade versus
Absolutely.
this. But I do like a firm feeling as well. It's kind of nice to have feedback. There's another good tee shot there. A little lower launching. It's still really good. You're going to take that all day.
Extremely low on the spin. Oh yeah, 100% any day.
I think you just hit the same exact swing 2 times in a row.
Might have.
They look like it from here.
Yeah.
Turned over a little more on that one.
Yeah, face got a hair more closed. Still really no spin on that ball at all.
Yeah, with this one, you're definitely launching it lower and kind of lower spin.
Yes.
Curious to see what happens when we do go to the DARKSPEED, because they're with the adjustments to the power bridge and stuff. There are there's reason to believe it could launch a little bit higher, but also the spin could stay down too. So.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I definitely would not mind seeing a little bit more launch, especially with where that spin rate is right now.
Yeah.
try to get up on that one a little more.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go.
That's a really good shot right there.
Yeah, that 100 feet of height right there, around a 14 launch, that is definitely more where I'd want to be.
That's kind of almost, I mean, that's almost ideal, really.
Yeah.
I mean, keeping the ball at 100 feet. Our average is here 145 on the smash. We're at 108 club speed, 157 ball speed. Distances 260 carry, 294 total. We talked about the spin being kind of low at 1831. You know, we had one I mentioned, or you mentioned that in this one, I think in particular, it was high on the face, which is going to knock that spin, almost knuckleball effect on that one.
100%.
And then the launch in general was also pretty low too. I'm trying to find right here, 12.3.
Yeah, about 12.3.
And there was a couple there that were even, you know, towards 10 or 11. So that'd be something I'll be looking at with dark speed. Any of these other numbers, or maybe the dispersion, anything that jumps out at you, Jake?
I mean, I would say I really like how I didn't see too many of them like going way, way left on that target there. I think the farthest one to the left was like 15 yards left, about 30 or, 45 feet or so. I really like the dispersion on this guy. I mean, Cobra drivers have been very forgiving in the past, and a lot of people don't give them credit for how forgiving that they have been. And they also don't spin too much, which we also saw here. So if you're someone that really struggles with kind of an over-the-top motion, adding a lot of spin, looking for more forgiveness, I think Cobra is definitely a place you should look.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely seen that with not even just the drivers, but also fairways, irons too.
100%.
You know, kind of that low spin. If you have that slice tendency where you cut across it, kind of high spinny, you know, falling out or falling to the right, I guess, ball flight. Really good options here. So
I would say, I mean, in the new one, I'd be expecting to see maybe a little bit more ball speed, a higher smash factor there.
Okay.
I am curious to see how the spin rates compare because this one was so low already.
Right. Granted, we had the one off high in the face that really knocked down to the 1500 range, which maybe skews it a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll see here. Let's get the dark speed X on that shaft here. Out of the gate there, we're a little bit lower launching and lower spin, really.
Yep.
Did you quite catch that one perfect?
It was a little high toe.
A little high toe.
I'm not shocked
Okay.
to see
Yeah,
it
that doesn't
get
surprise
really
me
up in the air.
given that flight. But
I mean,
even
still,
with that said,
287, like I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I mean, you were kind of mentioning, you know, on the Aerojet how it didn't go that far left. This is the same thing. It didn't, you know, on a ball that's high, that's toe side. When you kind of have that draw on it, sometimes it can just dive out of the sky.
100%.
And you lose a bunch of distance. This one didn't really do that. I mean, you're still you're comfortably in the fairway here. So even for that being a miss, still a pretty good result.
Yeah, absolutely. That one I got underneath pretty good.
Oh, look at that one.
I'll take that.
Wow. 1841 spin. You talked, I think we had a shot with the Aerojet where you were saying, you know, 14 launch and 100 feet is kind of ideal.
That's pretty much what I want.
A little bit higher on the launch on this one. And even though,
carry.
even I can tell on the smash, you still probably didn't catch that one absolutely perfect either. And it still is.
I'm still kind of gravitating towards the toe right now.
But for another toe shot, that one's awesome.
Yeah, no, I'll take that all day. This thing is coming off real high.
A lot higher launching.
Yeah.
You can kind of conclude that. That's also pretty darn far.
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy with that. That's only on a 142 smash factor.
Right.
This is just me not making the best contact with this driver.
Yeah.
It's not really mattering.
I know. I mean, I clearly the smash is indicating that because, you know.
I think I'm catching all these a little high in the face right now.
Yeah. I'm going to see, you know, if this is registering the impact location on any of these. Oh my gosh. Look where we got that one.
Almost got a sky ball.
Is that, I mean, it's probably not literally up
It
there.
didn't feel quite that high, but I mean, I'd say it was probably.
It's probably up here?
Did that 2 or 3 dash mark, right there.
Okay. Yeah. It's reading them a little bit higher than it probably is happening, obviously, because you wouldn't hit it up there on the crown and it would not go 300 yards.
No.
Okay, but clearly, I think what you're saying is you've yet to really find the center with the dark speed.
100%.
And despite that, we have, you know, 3 shots that are near 300 yards out there. So that's pretty cool.
That one I caught a little better.
There's some more ball speed. It sounded better. Look at that.
Yeah.
Is that a little fade?
I think there's a hair
come
of a fade
from?
in there.
Where did that come from? I like what we're seeing here, though. I mean, it's a very similar dispersion. We got one more swing yet. Very similar dispersion. And then I think, I haven't looked at the numbers comparatively yet, but I feel like this one's launching a lot higher.
It is, for sure.
Than the Aerojet. So without really losing or you know, it's not like a big gain of spin either. I feel like the spin's pretty similar.
I think the spin's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Whole ball speed here.
That one
okay.
I got hold of. I just might go a little left. Okay, not bad at all. Wow.
There's that Aerojet launcher there.
Yeah.
Little lower launch. Spin stay down though. You have a baby drop. There you go. Okay, so that's funny because your last ball with each, I think, had about the same club speed and ball speed. I'm going to try to bring these up here. So we got, yeah. Oh, no, look at this.
It jumped a lot.
Now, you swung a little harder. You kind of were like, I'm going to go after this last one here, and you did. Look at this on the map. So we got a clear longest tee shot of the day.
Yeah.
And even as we noted here, you didn't even hit with, I guess, the majority. You had your first three that you really didn't hit that well, and it shows in the smash factor with that regard.
Yep.
But you still
launched
had
higher, spin stayed around the same.
Yeah, so kind of let's just go through the chart here.
Yeah.
You swung the dark speed a tiny bit faster. I think that's mostly due to that last swing.
Yep.
Ball speed, because of that, is up a little bit. We talked about hit location being a little bit different and maybe not hitting the dark speed as efficiently on all the swings, but still.
What sticks out to me, though, is it was actually a more efficient flight. It was higher launch, same spin. Peak height was about 14 feet higher.
14 feet higher.
Attacking, I mean, it was a marginal change. I went up not even half a degree. So, I mean, you can see that lower center of gravity is really causing the ball to come higher off the face. That height's giving me 7 extra yards of carry and 3 extra yards of total.
Yep.
I mean, I'd say that I honestly swung the dark speed a little worse, and I got better results from it.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, again, we're not trying to be too critical of your swing because you are a really good player, and these are really good tee shots. Like, we're talking about, you know, again, this is, I guess, a generous fairway by this driving range, but there's only one that's not in the fairway here of the 10 swings. And then, of course, you got this clump here that's splitting any fairway you might find out on any golf course.
Yeah.
So really good stuff here, and it's cool to see the way that they shifted that bridge, that internal bridge, to see that the higher launch is happening.
Yeah, 100%.
It wasn't really tough for you to.
That stuck out to me right away. It was just coming off a lot higher.
Yeah, I think that's the big result here. That's the fun thing about these is when you can, you know, when Cobra or any manufacturer for that matter has a tech innovation and they're saying, hey, this is going to cause it, you know, higher launch, or it might be more ball speed, or it might be more forgiveness, and then we test it and it shows itself. So, I guess from your perspective, Jake, as we wrap up here, we've got the numbers, we showed the dispersion map. Dark speed in terms of, you know, that's right now if a player's looking for a new driver, then they don't want to spend, you know, maybe $600 on what a new driver is nowadays. Where does dark speed rank for you as like options out there?
I mean, I think this is, especially in the pre-owned area, going to be one of the best drivers that we're going to have, especially price point wise. I mean, for it being a current gen and the next year will be a 1-year-old technology, to be under, I believe it's going to be like $300. Pretty insane deal, to be honest. I mean, this is a high launch, low spin driver. That's what 80% of the players that I work with are looking for. I think it's definitely something to keep in consideration.
Yeah, really good stuff here. To see the gains, again, Aerojet's a good driver too. Like, we saw really good stuff from that too. Just we saw those marginal improvements with DARKSPEED X as well.
Yeah.
And again, you talk about a driver that's 2024 release. It's going to be awesome, I think. So it's going to be really good value for someone that, you know, moving into 2025 doesn't want to pay $650 or $600 for a brand new driver. Great option here. So thanks for doing the testing here, Jake. Got some really good findings. DARKSPEED X, ton of inventory at Second Swing to search through either online or in our stores. Go check them out, test it out for yourself, and see if it can maybe help your game. So thanks for everybody for watching, and subscribe to the channel for more in the future.